And welcome back to the Journey to the FarLands. Well, let's see. I got everything together here. Well, it looks like it. I could use some more wool, it looks like, and probably some more logs. So let's just see about that. Alright, let's dig out of here. Make sure everything is kosher right locally here. Looks like we're good to go. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, let's get moving here. And doesn't look like we're going very far that way or straight ahead, so we'll just head over this way. Alright. Welcome to the 41st episode of the Journey to the FarLands. At the beginning of this episode, the world was at 1030.98 megabytes according to Minecraft. Windows is being more simple about it and just reporting 1 gigabyte. And I think I'm going to stop bothering to care what Windows reports. Because, hey, it's not known to be the most accurate in the world. Alright. Drop a torch where the boat landed. Proceed onward. And I should kind of keep an eye out for that wall. And some trees, too. I do need some more logs. Trees are easy, though. There's some right there. Alright. Okay. Hack down a few trees. And then go get that wool over there. Alright. Grab this one. There is at least one sheep over here. There it is. Alrighty. I didn't see any others though, and that's unusual because they usually spawn in groups of 4. In fact, all mobs in Minecraft generally spawn in groups of 4. Well, excuse me. All of the peaceful mobs, not necessarily all of the hostiles, although I've seen skeletons, creepers, and spiders show. Actually, I've seen them all show up in groups of 4, come to think of it. There, nice handy way to get down and collect a little more wood at the same time. Alrighty. Well, let's see. Ah, yes, that's right. We have a question. Question from a viewer. Specifically, Mr. Brian asks, if you're wearing full diamond armor, which I know you are, why do you only have 7.5 shirts of protection? I didn't play before 1.8, so I don't know if that was normal. Kind of like Mojang had this idea for a diamond shield for Steve to use. Well, I've heard about that diamond shield idea, or well, a shield, and it would have been made of leather, wood, iron, gold, or diamond, just like all the rest of the tools can be. Well, maybe not leather, I don't know. But I remember hearing about talk like that way back when. And I never saw or heard anything official from Mojang about it, and it never materialized, so I can only suggest, I can only surmise or assume, as dangerous as that may be, that they never really had any such plans. In any event, the thing about the shirts of protection, and that's talking about the armor bar, which in this version is on the right hand side of the hot bar, the iron-colored shirt symbols. And it's actually very easy why full diamond armor would show that. And that's when the full diamond armor is not undamaged. These pieces have each taken roughly or close to a quarter of their durability and damage. And so on the hotbar, it's showing about a quarter of durability, of a quarter of protection gone. Now, I do know that the way armor and protection and whatnot was dealt with, and the way it was shown on the hotbar or the armor bar or what have you, I do know that that changed somewhere around beta 1.8 or 1.9. I'm not 100% certain, but I do know that the something about that changed. But I do know that in this version, that bar represents pretty much the overall health of my armor, as it were. And over time, you know, and it's gone down. The reason it's gone down is because of occasional bits of fall damage. You know, dropping 4 blocks where I should have arranged to drop only 2 or something like that, you know. It's little tiny bits of damage that by themselves are kind of insignificant. But over time they add up. And eventually that armor bar will continue to shrink and show less and less protection until finally there won't be any protection, because one piece and then another and so on will eventually be destroyed. It will just wear out and be gone. And at that point I will have the option of either deciding to just use iron armor, because I do have a fair amount of iron with me. I wish I had thought to make blocks of iron before I left. I could have a full stack of iron blocks here. I'm pretty sure of that. Because I left behind something like 6 or 8 stacks of iron because it was just simply going to be too much to carry. And it just never occurred to me to make it into block form. It's amazing, isn't it? Something so Minecraft basic, and I completely failed at it. Anyway, that's okay. So that would be the one option, would be to switch to using iron armor. Another option would be to stop at some point along the way and dig another branch mine and mine for more diamonds with which to repair, or more specifically replace, all of my gear, because repair was not a thing in beta 1.7.3. You didn't repair things, you used them until they wore out, and then you made new. And you were glad to do so, because there wasn't any other choice. Anyway, neither here nor there. Let's see. Okay, put down another couple of boats here. Still got to get more wool. I don't know why I bother using an axe on a crafting table. That didn't start to work right for several versions after this one. Alright. Habit, I guess. We all have our habits. In any event, I do need to report that the fundraising goals have seen a little bit of action of the I'm thankful for that kind. And as we pull up here, actually at the shore just over here, to spend the night, I can report that the Child's Play charity fundraising goal has seen another donation, and its current total is at $47.44 out of the goal of $6,346.45, which, yeah, I know, that's really slow progress, and I have to confess that the slow progress there did kind of really have me discouraged early on, and that's part of the reason for some of the breaks that I've taken along the way. Not a good reason, but there you have it. Sometimes you start out with an idea, you're trying to do something for a reason, and that reason just doesn't seem to happen, and so on, and you get kind of feeling like the air is being let out of your attempt to do something. But instead of letting that let the air out of you, what you have to do is to just persist and keep going, because you know you're doing something that is for a good cause or causes. And you know, you shouldn't let things like how things appear get in the way of doing something that you know is a good thing to do. And I know that's easy to say now, but it wasn't so easy to believe some time ago, because, well, without going into details that I am certain nobody wants to hear, I have had issues of my own that have been contributing factors to things such as that. And I don't particularly care to go into it any more than that. But I'm very grateful to see that there has been a new donation, and that this thing, however slowly, is making progress towards the goal. And I know that the way this sort of thing works, the longer I go without pressing F3, the more people are going to want to see what that number is when it finally does get pressed. That's just human nature. It is. You tell them you are not allowed to look at such and such, and what's the first thing they reach for? A shot to look at such and such that they were told they're not allowed to look at. You know, you tell a kid, you're not allowed to look at that magazine. It's a nasty magazine. And what's the first thing they're going to do when you're not looking? Reach for that nasty magazine because they want to know why it was you told them not to look at it. Yeah, and then after they do that, you're going to have a whole boatload of really fun questions to answer, I'm sure. But we know how that works. And on the other hand, if you just make certain that they don't see such thing or hear about it, and therefore have no reason to develop curiosity about it, they won't be racing out to get it to find out why you told them not to look at it. And it's the same with everything else. You know, you tell kids don't play with matches. What's the first thing they're going to do? Get themselves a book of matches and try to find out why you said that. I know I was one of those kids myself way back in the day, 50-some years ago. Yeah. I had a raging curiosity that just wouldn't quit, and I'm not curious enough to go down there. And when somebody didn't want me to see or do or hear about or whatever, something, then that is the one thing I wanted most. Because I wanted to know why. And so I got myself in more than a little bit of trouble over that sort of thing. But on the other hand, I lived. I'm still here. And I learned something. As one person put it once, you live and learn, or you don't live long. At least that's how I remember it going. Anyway, I don't remember what it was I was digressing from. And that's annoying. Okay, grab another boat. Yeah, I think we'll get away with it. Let's head around this part of the coast. Assuming there is that part of the coast. In any event, we move faster on water than we do on land. As long as there's no squid in front of us. Alright. Looks like a desert shore over there. Or a beach. Yeah, beach. Alright. So, in terms of fundraising, not only has Child's Play received something, the Family in Need has, there's been a donation there, and we're all very grateful for that. And that donation, while very, very needed and very helpful, because it is going towards an attempt to keep the electricity from being turned off in that house. And as I understand it, they're getting closer to that every month, because what they have to give the electric company does not equal what the electric company wants. And even if it's close, it's still not a cigar. And this also, another thing about it is that this particular electric company is rather something of a stickler when it comes to being on time. And if something is even one day beyond when it is due, they start getting, well, uppity. I think that's a good word for it. They get uppity and unpleasant and so on. You know, personally, I think that you get more payments by being reasonable and being willing to work out arrangements with people and so on, than if you just start getting nasty. Because let's face it, nobody wants to have their electricity turned off, especially when, like for example, in the case of these folks, their house is all electric. No electric, no anything work at all. Nothing. And so it's in their own best interest, and they are trying to do something about it to the very best they can. But on the other hand, they can't hand out something they don't have, now can they? The electric company doesn't seem to quite grasp that particular idea. And so the quandary just gets deeper and deeper. It is my sincere hope that these folks can get dug out of this really most foul mess and not have such worries and problems any further. It looks like I might get through here. More dig time. Ah, there we go. All right, excellent. And I see a shallower pass through the hills here. A little shallower. Anyway, we're proceeding onward. It's getting close to night. Let's see. This would be the second night because I started out with 2 beds in my inventory. And yes, I do sometimes actually lose track of how long I've gone or how many times I've done this during an episode because I'm so focused on what I'm doing or what I'm talking about that I actually lose count. And so I actually had to make a note, you know, begin the episode with 2 beds, use them along the way, and when I have to make a 3rd bed, that's the time to be making a hidey hole and ending the episode. Hello. Deep gash in the ground with one of those pits of doom down there. Yeah. Okay, hey, more sheep, good. Still only have 26 wool. Would be nice to have more. I figure at the end of the episode, I'm going to be using 9 of them. Okay, boat time. All right, and we're on the way off into the wild blue nothing out there, which won't remain a nothing, but that's what it looks like now. So, let's see what else is going on. Oh, yes, that's right. I did a little bit of Minecraft math, if you will, a few days ago. And it's based on an observation. I observed recently that when I'm doing 2 Minecraft days per episode, the world save grows by about roughly 30 megabytes per day. I mean, per episode, when I'm doing 2 Minecraft days per episode. So roughly 15 megabytes a day, if you put it that way. And I got to wondering what kind of progress would I have made had I never had these long breaks, had I been making progress all of this time. So I did some numbers on the calendar. I used one of those days between 2 dates sites, tools, whatever. And I did some figuring it out. At 2 episodes per week, with 2 Minecraft days per episode, from the whoa, look where you're walking. Well, of course I was looking where I was walking. That's why I stopped and didn't walk off that cliff of death. Yeesh. Anyway, I figured it out that if in all that time since I started this thing, if I had not had those big breaks and been doing 2 Minecraft days per episode, in that time, 2 episodes per, let's see, let me look, I have a note right here. Assuming an average of 2 days per week, 2 episodes a week, and 2 Minecraft days per episode. The amount of time that passed from when I started until now is like 126 weeks. Yeah, that's a long time. That's 885 days, so it's 126 weeks and a couple of days change. And in all of that time, I would have made 252 episodes. 252 episodes. Now, if you take 252 episodes and multiply that by a gain of 30 megabytes in the world save for each of those 252 episodes, you would find the startling revelation that the world save would then be in the neighborhood of 7.5 gigabytes right now. This is about 7.3 times the current size of the world save. In other words, had I kept at it at the 2 episodes per week rate, then I would be in a position such that I could have Kurt J. Mac looking in his rearview mirror to see me coming up behind him. Yeah, I could have actually made that kind of progress. Now, granted, that's only about half the progress that he's made, but I could have made that much progress in that amount of time had I simply not given in to whatever issues that occasionally cause me to stop doing things I enjoy doing. And that would be a good thing in every possible way, because really, why would you stop doing something you like doing? I've been asking myself that question since this time around when I restarted doing this series. Because it keeps occurring to me, you know, I enjoy doing this. Why in heaven's name would I stop? I can see if there were technical issues, if there were hardware, computer issues, and such like that, or even if there were internet issues and I wasn't able to actually upload. Of course, a problem like that would be temporary, and I'd get back at it, but I can't still, after all this time, after a week or two of asking myself this, I still can't answer the question of why it is I stopped doing these videos, at least not with any 100% this is the reason certainty. And so I have to remind myself of that every time some stray thought goes across my head and says, don't bother. Because that happens to me. You know, if my mood turns the wrong way, and people who have been watching my vlogs for a long time are probably familiar with this, I have a little bit of a problem with depression. And not the kind of depression that is, oh, whoa, I didn't get my way at the office today, I'm depressed. No. This is the kind of depression where your whole outlook on life goes down the toilet, and your outlook and opinions and views of everything goes down the toilet, and before too long you're willing to follow it. And that's about the best way I could describe it, at least right now anyway. There's no real good way to describe that except everything you hate about everything being real, or something like that. I don't know, it's hard to express. But on the other hand, if you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about, even though I'm tripping over myself trying to describe it, because you know what I'm talking about. But I've had a problem with that on and off over the last 10 to 15 years or more. And there are times when I'm on top of the world. Everything is great. There are other times when, well, it could be better, but I'm still doing pretty good. I'm feeling good, and hey, I'm going to win in the end anyway. And then there are times like nothing is right. Nothing can be right. Nothing will ever be right. And so on, you know? And those are the disastrous times. Those are the times that you live to hate. And yes, I am looking for a hidey hole even as the sun sets. And I'm going to stop right here and get dug in. But, you see, it's that depression that has gotten in the way of so many things. Because even though you know better, it's easy to let yourself talk yourself into believing the crap, believing the lie that something isn't worth it, or that you're not good enough, or that nobody gives a crap, or whatever. It's easy to talk yourself into giving up. Even when you don't actually want to, it's still deathly easy. Alright, let's get some planks, get some boats. Alright. Alright, there we go. Get the crafting table back. Hey, you. Let's see. I don't need that. I don't need that. There we go. Alright. And so, here we end another episode. And yes, I'm leaving that open, because nothing can get in here. So why not? So anyway, thanks for watching and putting up with my rambling and such like and whatnot. And thank you also those that have donated to the various causes. And for those of you who continue to donate and ask questions and leave comments and hit like on the videos and share the videos and so on, all of that kind of support is very, very, very much appreciated. And we'll be back again next time to continue the journey to the far lands. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.